She's driving me crazy.
Mate, she's your mother. That's what they're supposed to do.
Mate, this is different. She is different.
Why, how's that?
Well, like the other day, right? I go into my room. She's totally rearranged my wardrobe.
Brave woman.
Yeah, but I can't find a damn thing.
Sounds like she just wants to take care of you.
Tess, she ABC'd my spice rack.
Ah, well, she won't be here forever.
Well, that's not an established fact, is it?
She hasn't said when she's leaving?
No, she keeps changing her mind.
Oh, she's got to go sooner or later. Hasn't she got a shop to run?
No, she sold the nut shop, didn't she?
Maybe she's bored.
Could be. Maybe that's why she's going to one of these make your money work for you type of things.
Well, look on the bright side. At least she's getting out of the house for a while.
Yeah, but guess who's got to be dragged along to one of these seminars with her? I mean, I'm supposed to be there in 5 minutes.
Oh, what's holding you up?
Nothing. It's a problem.
Rent money is dead money. Hands up all those who've heard that expression before. Come on, hands up. Yeah, I bet you all have. But how many of you realise the same thing can be said about the money you have invested in your family home? Yeah, it's every bit as dead as the money you once paid in rent. It just sits there. And it will never make you 1 cent richer. Now, I'm here today to change all that, to make the investment you have in your family home work for you. And it's really quite simple. You all right?
This man is nothing but a con merchant.
You.
And if you trust him with your money, you're never going to see it again. He preys on vulnerable people like yourselves and he steals their homes and their money and everything. I don't know what you're bothering with me for. Van Dorn's the one you should be locking up. I mean, he tricks people and steals their money. That's a real crime.
Well, even so, Mrs. Henderson, you shouldn't be putting people's lives at risk.
Oh, that's right. Go on, take his side.
No one's taking sides.
Yeah, I've heard that before as well.
Constable, can you show Mrs. Henderson in the interview room?
It's an outrage, that's what it is.
Mrs. Henderson, just through here. Tell me all about
Check her out, Ben, and see whether or not she's got any form on leaf. Apparently she's done this sort of thing before.
Henderson, yep.
Should
Yeah.
told you that.
Oh, this bloke called Eric Van Dorn.
It's like one of these seminars.
Yeah, apparently she's interrupted almost every seminar he's tried to hold.
Why doesn't he just take out an intervention order?
He has. She can't go within 200 metres of him.
PJ, your mum's here to see you.
Isn't important.
I'll ask her.
No, don't, Jack. Mum, this is not a good time.
Patrick, I'm sorry I missed the seminars, but I got involved with my housework, and by the time I got there, it was all over.
Well, that's just as well, because you could have got hurt.
Yes, I know, I heard. What happened? Everyone's talking about
It's
it.
over now.
But they're saying that the man who runs the seminars is a con man. Is that true?
I don't know, Mum.
But you will look into it, won't you?
Well, it's really not my concern at the moment.
People are losing their homes.
Mum, look, I'm already dealing with one crazy woman, Mum. I just don't want to have to deal
Are
with
you
another
calling me
one. No,
crazy?
I'm not
Yes,
calling
you
you.
are.
I'm not
You're calling
you
me crazy.
I'm not.
You know, Patrick, sometimes you are a real disappointment to me.
Mrs. Henderson, I see you get around a bit.
Yeah, well, you do when you live in a caravan.
Convictions for criminal damage and assault in WA, South Australia and Tasmania. What do? Wreck buildings in every state?
No, that's the first time I've done that.
Well, congratulations, you've just added the Victorian charge to your collection as well as breaching your intervention order.
Well, if it gets you lot moving, I guess I'll just have to wear it.
Ever thought about walking to a police station and making a complaint?
Oh, and would you listen? No. All you lot are good for is handing out intervention orders. Meanwhile, Eric Van Dorn goes on scamming people.
Did he scam you?
No, that was another con artist at another time. And it wasn't me he got, it was my husband, Max. And we lost everything. A house, a land, everything.
Is Max travelling with you?
No, dear, I wish he was. The doctors said it was his heart, but...
So you decided to do something about all the other con artists out there?
That's right. And now what are you going to do? About Van Dorn?
What's her grievance exactly?
Well, she finds this bloke's organising phony investment schemes.
Phony how?
Well, I'm Van Dorn and you're a silly old codger, right?
You might be a very young ex-constable if you're not extremely careful.
Just for the sake of the argument. You want to move into a retirement village, but you'd also like to keep the family home, something to leave to the kids.
Oh, but I haven't got enough money to do both.
Not a problem, Mr. Gordon. I can organise you a loan.
Yeah, but I'm on the pension. How am I going to pay it back?
By using the rental income from your property.
Yeah, but I'm on the
Don't tell the
pension.
police station, Constable
What
Lawson.
bank's going to lend me the money?
Well, if you fill in the application form yourself, probably none of them. But I have ways and means. If you give me a $5,000 fee, I can help you get your money.
Yeah, but what if you don't get me the money?
Well, my fee's refundable.
So where's the scam?
Because 3 months later, I tell you that unfortunately none of the financial institutions I've approached consider you a good enough risk.
Well, in that case, I'll just have my money back, thanks.
No can do, Mr. Croyd.
But you just said it was refundable.
Strictly non-refundable. Sorry, it says so in the fine print of your contract.
Ah, well, that's fraud. So why haven't these people reported it to the police?
Because I'm a fine, upstanding businessman and you're just a silly old codger, remember?
They should lock up this woman and throw away the key.
Mrs. Henderson has been charged with breach of intervention order. Now, if she does it again, she'll be in strife, and she knows that.
Yeah, but it might be too late for me.
I don't think it'll come to that.
What, you think I'm being dramatic? I mean, after this morning, I have real concerns for my personal safety.
There's nothing in anything Mrs. Henderson says?
She's a nutbag. She's got some kind of obsession.
I just wonder why she decided to pick on you.
You accusing me, eh?
No, if an allegation is made, we have to follow it up.
Well, you'll find the allegations are entirely in Ivy Henderson's head.
Is it true you charge a $5,000 fee for getting clients a loan?
Yes, that's right. Strictly non-refundable. They know that going in.
$5,000 doesn't seem over the top to you?
Oh, you know a lot about getting loans, do you?
No.
No, all right. Well, I do a lot of work for my money. Sourcing loans for my clients sometimes isn't easy.
I bet.
And how often do you succeed in getting these loans for your clients?
Well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
$5,000 is a lot for sometimes.
Look, I'm completely open about everything I do. If you want to find out about me, just come to one of my seminars. It was advertised in Monday's issue of the Gazette.
You're having another meeting tomorrow morning, are you?
Yeah, that's right. I've got to try and salvage something from this trip. Ivy bloody Henderson's cost me a fortune.
So how did you go with Mr. Van Dorn?
Well, he's a slime bag.
He claims to be a businessman making an honest dollar. Now, I will reserve my judgment on that.
Look, he's running another one of his seminars tomorrow. More lambs to the slaughter.
What do you think, unless we've got evidence against
Well,
him?
Ivy might have some. She said she'd done a whole lot of research on the guy.
Listen, if this bloke is ripping off senior citizens, I want him stopped.
All right, I'll do some more digging. But I use my sources, thank you. Right, so how much are we talking? All right. Oh, but no, he is in town, so if... yeah, we'll be in contact. Cheers, mate.
Yeah?
Well, it appears that the fraud squad is aware of the name Eric Van Dorn. A small matter relating to fraudulent use of credit cards.
Uh-huh.
But we still haven't got enough evidence to move against him.
Sorry to bring it up again, but there is still Ivy's file on him.
Do you think that's going to be worth anything, though?
We'll never know if we don't check it out. Hi, Mrs. Henderson.
Oh, hi, dear. Until you managed to persuade your friend that I was worth listening to after all. Is
Look, if you do have any information on Mr. Van Dorn, we'd like to see it.
that right? Well, I might not be interested in sharing.
Thought you wanted to get this bloke.
I do. But why should I help you? You wouldn't help me this morning.
A bit more information has come to light about him. We want to look into his activities,
Is that the truth?
and we'd like your help.
Oh, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, Van Dorn. Let me see then. Yeah, there we go. Eric Van Dorn. First came to my attention 6 months ago, so he's been running this present scam for at least that long. And he's a versatile little chappie too. He's also suspected of credit card fraud.
Well, we know about that, Mrs. Henderson, but we're looking for someone who's willing to stand up to say they've been conned by him.
Well, that might be easier said than done, Detective, you see, because most people are rather embarrassed. They feel like fools. As a matter of fact, some people go to great lengths to hide their shame from their friends and family. That is why they come to me.
These people, could you give us names?
I could.
It's just we might be able to talk to them and get them to come forward.
All right, I'll give you a name. Ron Atwell. Lost his home in Bendigo because of Van Dorn.
Where does he live?
Closer than you think.
I'm sorry. I have nothing to say.
Are you telling us you don't know Mr. Van Dorn?
Look, please. The wife's had a stroke.
Ivy Henderson told us he'd conned you, is that right?
That's all in the past. I don't want to get involved.
So if this bloke is defrauding his clients, we can do something about it.
What's going on?
Nothing, dear, nothing. No, I'm sorry. You'll have to get someone else.
Yeah, but Mr. Atwell, if people like you don't come forward, then... So what are we left with?
No, Ivy Henderson's word against Van Dorn, and I know who the courts are going to believe.
But there is more to it than you thought, isn't there?
Well, apart from that awful wig she wears.
You better be careful. You might have to wear one of those one day.
Sorry?
Why don't we talk to Ivy again and get some more names?
Why bother, Joe? I mean, he was not any help to us.
But others might be.
They weren't, Joe.
I think it's worth a try.
Come on, look, why do you think she sent us here in the first place?
Because she thought he might help.
Because she knew he wouldn't help. Look, most people are too embarrassed to come forward.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be.
Yeah, well, you're not afraid of being an idiot.
We go set him out Thomas 509.
And Thomas 509?
He slipped down to the Imperial Hotel, see Chris Rowland. She's got a cold burglary report.
Did he say the Imperial?
As far as I know, there hasn't been anyone here since lunchtime. I just found it like this when I came upstairs for a break.
Bit of a mess.
I'll say.
Who's staying here?
What's going on?
Is this your room?
Yes, what are you doing in it?
We're answering a call out to a burglary. Can you tell us if anything's missing, sir?
No, nothing at all.
You don't look like it's nothing.
Well, you're calling me a liar.
Mr. Van Dorn, can you think of any reason why anyone would want to break into your room?
No.
Funny they've chosen yours and none of the others.
Well, I can't help bad luck.
You're having a bit of that today. It was all over his face. There was something missing, all right?
But why lie about it?
It was obviously something incriminating, something he wouldn't want us to find.
You're getting a bit ahead of yourself, aren't you, Joe?
Then why weren't any of the other rooms broken into?
Maybe the thief was disturbed.
No, I think Joe's right. I mean, the room was targeted. Someone was after something.
Trouble certainly does seem to follow him around.
Oh, and in this case, trouble has a name.
Stand aside.
You're not coming in here.
Just get out of
here.
That's enough. Hey,
That's
what
enough.
are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same question.
Well, I was just trying to talk some sense into
Didn't
her.
look like you were doing much talking to me, mate.
That's all it was.
He just wanted to come in here and I didn't want to let him. That's all there was to it.
You satisfied?
Far from it. You want him to leave?
Yeah, the sooner the better.
You heard the lady?
See you tomorrow, Van Dorn.
If you do anything to disrupt my seminars, I'll have you arrested.
Oh, I'm quaking in my boots.
Listen,
Mate,
you...
just get out of here, thanks.
Oh, I suppose I should thank you.
What was he after?
Nothing. He was just trying to bully me into leaving him alone, that's
Are
all.
you sure you haven't got something of his?
Oh, but I wanted that mongrel.
Mind if we take a look?
Go right ahead. I need to get you out of my hair.
Sorry about this. PJ, we didn't find a cracker.
Well, that doesn't mean she didn't break into Van Dorn's room.
We should be looking at other suspects.
Who?
Well, like Van Dorn's other victims for a start.
Ron Atwell. He'd be lucky if he could make it up the stairs. Look, Van Dorn himself thinks Ivy's a thief.
How do you know that?
Well, we caught him heavy. Probably trying to get his stuff back.
Well, then why did we find whatever it was?
I don't know. Look, Joe, I don't want to argue about this, okay? Mum puts the dinner on the table at 7 sharp. If I'm not there, I get into trouble. Sorry, I'm late, Mum. What are you doing here?
Visiting a friend. Is that against the law too now, is it? Time I went. Thanks for the tea, Helena.
Mum?
I'll let myself out.
Sorry, dinner will be late tonight, Patrick. I've had a busy day and I just haven't had time to...
Since
do any
when
of the
have
cooking.
you and Ivy Henderson been buddies, Mum?
Since I ran into her this afternoon. She was very worried about something. She was very upset, and you can imagine how I felt when it turned out to be you.
Me? What have I done?
She told me you stormed into her caravan.
Stop. We had permission to search.
Did you find anything?
No, but that's beside the point.
No, it isn't. You're harassing Ivy, and for no good reason.
We had every reason. We suspect her of breaking into Van Dorn's hotel room.
Well, if it brings him to justice...
You go to jail for that, Mum.
Van Dorn's the one who should be going to jail.
Listen to yourself. She's brainwashing you.
Oh, she's has done nothing of the
Then
kind.
why do you care so much?
Because you don't and you should. Patrick, I'm not listening to you anymore.
Mum.
I've got a lot of things to do.
Mum, look, I want you to stay away from Ivy Henderson.
The spare room is in a mess.
Mate, what's all this stuff? Oh, stuff I no longer need, apparently. According to? How do you reckon?
PJ, I just got a call from your mum. She sounds really upset.
Hey, I'm keeping the bat.
Oh, Patrick, thank God you're here.
It's okay, Mum. It's okay, you tell me what happened.
I just got here and I saw a man push Ivy into the back seat of his car.
What man, what car?
I don't know, I didn't see too well, but he had a suit on and the car was blue. Ivy was struggling, but he was too strong for her.
PJ?
It's Van Dorn, I know that it
Mum,
is.
it's okay, it's all right.
Ivy said he wanted to hurt her. That's why I came here. I was worried for her safety.
Mum, why didn't you tell me this?
Would you have listened? You don't think Van Dorn would kill her?
Miss Riley, have you made up my bill yet?
No, but I will.
Great.
You cancelled today's seminar, have we, sir?
I don't see what it's got to do with you.
We're going to have to ask you not to leave just yet, thanks.
What?
We're investigating the disappearance of Mrs. Ivy Henderson.
Disappearance? What's that to do with me?
Well, I think she might have been abducted from her caravan this morning.
Look, Detective, there's nothing I'd like more than to disappear her for good, but I had nothing to do with it.
We have a witness who said she saw you forcing her into a car.
Your witness needs her eyes checked.
We're going to need to search your suitcase, your room, and your car.
This is ridiculous. Now, if you don't mind...
I'm afraid we're going to have to insist.
Don't you need a warrant?
No, we don't. Your keys, please.
Look, what's the point of all this? You've already been through my stuff and found nothing.
Please. You were in a bit of a hurry.
I was ready to move on. I wasn't in a hurry. Like I told you, nothing.
It's your computer?
What?
What is it?
Well, it's in my car, isn't it?
Take that as a yes.
We'll take it down the station.
Well, I don't see how it's relevant.
We'll be the judge of that.
Well, look, I can't work without my computer.
Oh, well, you won't be parting company with it. You'll be coming with us.
I haven't been back to the caravan park since yesterday.
Right, so where were you this morning?
None of your business.
You left the hotel just after 8. You returned at 10. During that time, Mrs. Henderson disappeared and was last seen with you.
Yeah, according to your so-called witness who could be making the whole thing up. So, look, if you don't mind...
Sit down, thanks, sir.
Sit down.
For the 20th time, I haven't seen Ivy Henderson this morning.
So where were you?
Seeing a client.
Name?
If you think I'm going to have you lot jumping all over my
Name
client...
of the client. See, Mr. Van Dorn, you don't seem to understand how serious this is. We've got an old lady that's disappeared, maybe abducted or worse. And you're sitting around here playing silly buggers with us.
Look, you've got the wrong bloke. This is a setup.
Who's setting you up, Eric? Right, we'll do it the hard way then, eh? We'll get crime scene to come and search and fingerprint your car.
But you've already searched it.
Oh, no, not the way they do it. They pull it to pieces. They'll look for a drop of blood, a stray fibre. If there's a speck of DNA from Mrs. Henderson, they will find it.
But there's nothing to find.
Ben?
Yes, mate.
Look after our guest, please.
How long's he in for?
Oh, for as long as necessary.
He's not going to like that.
Tough.
So, did you get anything out of him?
Well, he reckons he can outlast us. Have you heard anything back from crime scene yet?
Yeah, they're checking out his car now. As soon as they finish there, they'll go to the caravan park and check Mrs. Henderson's van.
What about his personal belongings?
Well, according to this, his only 2 engagements in Mount Thomas were the 2 seminars at the community hall.
I've checked all the numbers stored on his mobile, but none of them are local.
What about his computer?
Well, there's nothing obviously incriminating and nothing that's going to lead us to Ivy.
How'd you go, Lawson?
No one saw a thing, which is pretty weird for a caravan park.
Maybe you missed someone.
No, I've asked people to spread the word. If anyone saw something, we'll hear about it.
Mum, what are you doing here? You should be at home resting.
Yeah, all right, let's think about this laterally. You're a con artist
there
and
any
you've
news
got
on
pests like
Ivy?
Ivy driving you mad. What are you going to do about it?
Get rid of her permanently, I suppose.
Kill her? It's a bit extreme, isn't it?
Yeah, but if he got desperate enough...
No, he's probably got her stashed somewhere. The question is where. I mean, he doesn't seem to have a connection with the area.
Well, it'd be somewhere deserted.
Unoccupied building...
The silos or maybe the wool store.
He's more likely to take her out.
Maybe he rented a property. Well, Ivy told me that she saw him stop outside the estate agents. Maybe he was looking for a place to take her.
It was a gentleman of mature years, I'd say, and he was looking for something secluded, out of the way.
Did you get his name?
Yes, I've got it here somewhere. Yes, here it is. It was a Mr. Van Dorn. Did you have something for him? I directed him to the McManus place.
Thanks, Ed.
There's a property you should have a look at on the way, PJ. Natural bushland setting, country kitchen, living room with open fireplace. It's rent. Anything?
Nothing.
Help me, please, help! Help!
Hang on, Ivy, hang on.
Oh, thank God you found me! I thought that bastard was going to kill me.
All right. Hang on, you'll be all right. Sorry.
I tried to shut the door in his face, but he just pulled it open again. Well, he took it off its hinges.
So what then, Ivy? He pushed his way in?
Yeah, he said this is the last time I'd be giving him any trouble and tore the place apart. Wanted to know what I had on him.
Did you find anything?
Oh, that's my folder. You know the one I showed you?
Then what happened?
Well, he dragged me to the car.
Did you try and struggle at any point?
Yeah, all the way, but he happens to be a bit stronger and younger than I am.
And no one heard you? No one tried to come and rescue you?
Well, there's no one else around. Anyway, what does it matter? I mean, no harm was done, except for Van Dorn stealing my folder. Didn't happen to find it.
No, I'm afraid not. No.
I assume you did search his things, his bag and his car.
Yeah, we went through everything.
Took me months to compile that thing. That's all I've got on him. I suppose you found anything else?
Like what?
Proof that he's been conning people.
Well, we weren't actually looking for that. We were more concerned with personal safety.
So how is Mrs. Henderson?
She's a pretty tough bird.
There's something not quite right about all this. And lack of witnesses, for a start.
She said there was no one around.
Come on, Joe. It was the middle of a caravan.
Yeah, your neighbour is 2 metres away, and if Van Dorn's ripping through her stuff and threatening her, someone is bound to hear it.
Look, maybe she's exaggerated things a little to make him look worse.
I don't buy it. I don't reckon he was there at all.
So are you suggesting she faked her own kidnapping?
Well, she doesn't seem too bothered about it, boss. She's more concerned with getting him on fraud charges.
Yeah, but everything does fit with the kidnapping. I mean, we've got an eyewitness, the phone call to Celia, and you and I both saw Van Dorn standing over Ivy.
It's all too neat. It's like it's all just been laid out for us.
Yeah, but Celia said Van Dorn phoned her. It was a male voice.
Ivy could easily have an accomplice. More than one.
You've got to be kidding.
I'm sorry, PJ, but...
I already told you. I saw a man push her into the back of his car. Isn't that enough?
Not without what we call corroborating evidence, no. Was there anyone else around at the time?
I didn't really notice. I was too horrified at what was happening to Ivy.
Yeah. When she was pushed into the car, did she yell? Did she make any attempt to resist him?
Oh, yes, she was struggling, but it didn't do her any good. He was too strong for her.
Still, you would have thought she'd kick up a bit of a fuss. And someone might have been able to come and help her.
Well, I can't remember what noise she was making. Maybe he had a gun in her back. I don't know. But what is the point of this anyway? You found Ivy. You should be looking at Van Dorn.
Well, that's exactly the point. We don't know if Van Dorn's actually done anything wrong.
He's done everything wrong.
It looks like Mrs. Henderson might have faked her own kidnapping.
Oh, no, that's quite impossible.
We beg to differ.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Mum, listen to me. Look, if Ivy Henderson put you up to this, we need to know about it.
She didn't put me up to anything.
Mum, it's very strange. I mean, you were our only eyewitness at the caravan park. Then you led us to Celia's office, which was the very clue we needed to find Ivy.
Is this how you use your detective skills now? To accuse a woman who's only trying to help people?
Pulling a major con is not helping people.
Ivy's doing nothing wrong. She's a good woman who's trying to stand up to real criminals, which, as I seem to remember, is why you became a policeman in the first place.
Mum, I really need you to tell me the truth.
Mr. Van Dorn's getting a bit shirty in there because he says if you found Ivy Henderson, why is he still being held?
I want him staying put.
PJ, if the kidnap was a fake...
That's only an assumption at this point, Tess.
Yeah, a pretty good assumption.
Doesn't matter, right? Now, I want Van Dorn held till he's back from crime scene. And if they come back to us and say that the kidnapping was a fake, then we'll see.
All right, let the boss know. I don't understand. Why would Ivy Henderson fake her own kidnapping? It's stupid.
Well, she can't get Van Dorn for being a con artist. She'll get him some other way, huh?
But she'd know that wouldn't wash. PJ?
Yeah.
Remember how Ivy kept asking us if we'd found anything of Van Dorn's?
Yeah.
What if she's trying to lead us to some evidence?
What evidence?
The computer?
Go on.
Well, remember how surprised Van Dorn was when we found it in his car? Right?
Yeah.
What if Ivy stole it from his room and planted it there for us to find? There might be some
I
evidence
know,
on
mate,
it.
but look, Tess checked the computer. There was nothing on it.
Yeah, but Tess isn't a computer expert. Neither is Ivy. That's why she needed us to find it, to look at it more closely.
What the hell are we looking for?
There must be some evidence on it that proves Van Dorn's a fraud.
Like?
I don't know, but if anyone can help us...
Oh, I'm sorry, dear, but I've already helped you as much as I can.
I know you're in a difficult legal position, but hypothetically, if we were in possession of some evidence against Van Dorn, would we find it in his computer?
Hypothetically. Well, hypothetically, you're getting warmer.
Only warm, not hot. Okay. So the problem is locating the evidence, which file?
Oh, now you're getting cooler.
Maybe his hand? A hypothetical hand?
Well, this isn't the only scam that Van Dorn's ever run. Why don't you check in with the fraud squad?
Yeah, we did. They spoke to him about a credit card matter.
Mm-hmm.
Some of his customers complained about unauthorised purchases on their credit card.
Boiling.
Thank you, Ivy. Thanks for the tea. Got him. Eric Van Dorn purchased his laptop computer with Ron Atwell's credit card number.
How did they get hold of it?
Well, Ron filled in one of his application forms, put down a number as security.
Positive?
Ron gave me the statement himself.
How'd you get him to do this? He wouldn't say boo to us before.
I told him that if he could prove he paid for the computer, it'd become his property.
Poor old bugger.
I also told him cooperating might help him avoid a conspiracy charge. He admitted impersonating Van Dorn on the phone to Celia Donald.
Right, so Mum wasn't the only one convinced by Ivy Henderson.
What's going to happen to Ivy? I mean, I know she led us on a wild goose chase.
Well, she's going to have to be charged, Joe. I'm sorry.
Well, what about your mother? I mean, if Ivy's charged, we'll have to charge her as well, won't we?
Right now, I want to get Van Dorn.
Of course, I remember him. He was a client.
You wrote down his credit card number on his loan application. You used it to buy your laptop.
Well, someone saw me do this, did they?
The transaction happened on the phone.
Not by me, it didn't.
The computer's serial number matches the one in your car.
That's because it was planted there.
You said it was yours when we found it.
I thought it was. Look, I own a laptop like that one, but mine was purchased last year in Perth.
Well, then how come your name appears on so many of the documents on the hard drive?
Because that stupid old bitch probably wrote them, okay? It's all part of the same setup.
Do you have a receipt for this laptop?
Look, I don't think I can lay my hands on it at the moment. I'm sorry.
Oh, pretty convenient.
Yes, well, it also happens to be the truth. And unless you can prove otherwise, I'd like to leave.
Sit down, sir.
No, I have been sitting in that chair for hours. I've had false accusations flung at me. I've had enough.
Sit down, sir.
It's all right. You're free to go.
Just sign here, thank you, Mr. Van Dorn. Are you satisfied with your treatment by the police here today?
You're kidding, aren't you?
Well, if you're not, that means you're making a complaint, and we'd have to detain you even longer.
I can't believe we're just letting him go.
John, what else am I going to do?
Charge him with unlawful possession, handles stolen goods, something. It's his computer, you know it is.
But can we prove it?
No, we can't. Hey, listen, what about the computer software? If that's registered to Van Dorn, then we've got him.
I've checked all that. None of the software is registered. Oh, there's got to be some way to get in.
I'm sorry, Joe. There's nothing we can do about it, eh? I'm sorry. Benny boy, you bring in Ivy Henderson for me?
Sure thing, mate.
Mrs. Henderson, you're facing some serious charges. Are you aware of that?
I am.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning, shall we? Are you responsible for breaking into Mr. Van Dorn's hotel room?
Oh, come off it. That computer was already stolen goods.
You jammed it into his hotel room?
Yeah, well, I tried fair means. It didn't work, so I had to use foul.
Were you looking for the laptop when you broke in?
I was looking for anything that would send that snake down. And when I saw the computer, I remember that Ron had told me that his credit card had been used to buy one.
So your problem was getting the computer to us without admitting to breaking into the room?
Yes, that's when I came up with the idea of staging my own disappearance.
All right. So he said he had a meeting with a client. Were you the client?
I rang him early in the morning and told him that I had something of his, and if he wanted it, he should meet me.
And what about the rest of it? I mean, who drove you to the farmhouse?
Helena. She drove me there and locked me in the shed.
Who stashed the computer in the car? Was that Ron Atwell?
No, he just made the phone call. No, Helena planted the computer.
You do realise these people will be charged as well?
Well, as long as Van Dorn goes down, we are happy to wear it.
Well, you're not going to be very happy about this, Mrs. Henderson.
You're telling me that Van Dorn hasn't been charged?
He's claiming that you switched the computers.
Well, that's not true.
Who do you think the court is going to believe, I mean, you are a self-confessed thief.
And meanwhile, Van Dorn walks free and I've done all of this for nothing.
Nothing? What, you wasted our time and energy? You've dragged my mother into it?
Oh, believe me, I didn't drag your mother into anything.
Oh, give me a break. Huh? Now, she's a law-abiding citizen. She wouldn't do this off her own back.
Well, she did, and she had a damn good reason to.
And that reason would be?
Well, you're the smart detective. The son that she's so proud of. You figure it out.
Patrick, you're early.
Why'd you do it, Mum? Why did you get involved?
Involved? I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop pretending to me, Mum. Why did you lie?
All right, I lied. What of it?
You'll be charged. Do you realise that?
I don't care.
Mum, please talk to me.
No. You wouldn't understand. You'd call me a crazy old woman. And I am. Stupid and crazy.
Right, so this bloke has conned you as well, is that it?
Oh, Patrick. I feel like such a fool.
Look, why didn't you tell me about this?
I couldn't tell. I felt so stupid, so ashamed.
How did it happen?
It sounded too good to be true.
You gave him $5,000 of your money?
Which I borrowed against the house. And you know I'd only just paid it off. But if I don't give money to the finance company by next week, then they'll take me to court. That's why I went to Ivy. I read about her in the paper, and I thought she could help. We started talking, and she said that Van Dorn was going to Mount Thomas, and that's when I told her about you. And she said the police were useless because they never listened. I told her you were different.
It's okay, Mum. We'll work this out.
I'm sorry to keep you late, but I would like to apologize for all the trouble I've caused.
Well, we can't condone your actions, of course, but I'm sure we all understand in the circumstances.
I just hope you get your money back, Mrs. Hasham.
Thank you. But I really wish there was some way I could make amends.
You've made a statement against Van Dorn, and that's a start.
Yes, but it's not really enough.
No, it's okay. Okay, let's go home.
There is something you could do. Van Dorn hasn't actually seen you in town yet, has he?
I don't think so.
Are you completely nuts?
Come on, PJ. If he's still in town, we can get him.
Forget it, Joe. You're not sending my mother undercover.
But it's the best way to get the scumbag.
So we'll get him some other way.
But your mum can do it, and she wants to do it. I don't see why you won't let her.
Why? Her age, for starters, her health,
Yeah,
her
but there's
mental
no risks
capacity.
involved.
The answer's no.
Can't you at least let her make up her own mind? Just spoke to Chris. Eric Van Dorn has decided it's too late to head back to Melbourne. He's booked a room for another night.
I'll do it then.
Mum, I really need you to consider this.
You should be aware that there could be risks involved.
There's no risks. We'll be backing her up the whole time.
All I can say is if you feel confident you can do this, then go for it.
Mum, please, don't do this.
Well, what about my feelings? Don't they count? Let me do it. Let me show you I'm not completely useless. Let me help you get Eric Van Dorn.
Please, Mr. Van Dorn. Look, I've tried everywhere. I'm sorry.
But I really need this loan. Would more money help?
Well, yes, another $5,000 might open up, new avenues of opportunity.
And if I don't get the loan?
Helena, if I can't get you a loan, I'll refund your money in full. All right? The whole $10,000. In fact, I'll refund your money any time.
I'll write you a check.
All we need to do now is get Van Dorn to refuse to refund the cheque, and we've got him.
Can this guy really be this stupid?
Well, I think desperate's the word. He knows that we're onto him, and he's going to try and get out of town with as much money as he can.
So when's part 2 of this operation?
We'll get him when he's leaving, first thing in the morning. Chewy?
Okay, Mum, you're on.
Mr. Van Dorn.
Oh, look, sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Oh, that's all right. This won't take long. I just wanted my check back.
Check?
Yes, the one I gave you yesterday.
Oh, your loan application fee. But I haven't had a chance to start shopping around for your loan.
Oh, but that's all right, because I changed my mind.
Well, I'm sorry, there might be...
She's going great guns,
But
Tosh.
you said my money was fully refundable.
You know, last night you almost forced me to take your money. Now you've changed your mind. This wouldn't be some kind of trap for you.
No, this is going bad. We've got to get her out of there.
Oh, I see. I thought she had to be lurking around here somewhere. Get out of my way.
But you promised. You said I could get my money back at any time.
Crap, I promise nothing of the kind. Are you deaf as well as old and stubborn?
Get out of my way.
Sir?
Sure?
Get out of the car.
Got you bastard!
Hey,
You
PJ,
back off!
You promised. You said I could get my money back at any time. Crap, I promise nothing of the kind. Are you deaf as well as old and stupid?
You'll never make it stick.
You don't think so?
It's called entrapment.
In America, maybe. Here we call it evidence.
We'll take our chances in court. We may not get a conviction, but this should open up a real can of worms.
I want a lawyer.
You were charged with theft by deception and unlawful assault.
What about bail?
Be bailed on your own undertaking.
Just sign here, Mr. Van Dorn.
Everything all right?
Yeah, no, she's come good, but thanks for asking.
There you go.
Joe. Ivy. I just dropped in to say thanks for all your help.
Couldn't have done it without you.
You too, Detective.
Oh, well, thanks for your assistance, Ivy.
Well, if I can ever be of any further service, just give me a tingle.
What, are you You're sticking around town?
No, I'm off up to New South. There's a con artist up there ripping people off with a retirement village scam. But don't you worry, I'll be back for my court case. Cheery bye.
Cheery bye. See ya.
PJ, back to them. Glad it all worked out in the end. Glad your mum's all right.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, Shirley, how
thank
can I
you
help
for your
you?
help.
Yes, I'm looking for PJ.
I'm afraid he's a bit busy at the moment, so...
See ya.
Maybe not, actually.
Come in.
Thank you.
How you keeping?
Fine, thank you.
Got the stuff?
Yeah, it's all in here.
You want me to move to Mount Thomas permanently?
Well, you got no reason to go back to Melbourne.
Well, no, but...
Mum, hey, what do you got to lose?
This isn't because you think I'm old and helpless, is it?
Look, if anyone needs looking after, it's me. No, I really want you to move up here.
But this place, it's far too small.
Oh, Mum, wouldn't you stay here? Right, now, here we go. This place, hang on, right.
But, Patrick, it's in the middle of nowhere.
It's 4 k's out of town, 3.5 acre block. Plenty of room for your veggie patch.
It needs a coat of paint.
What do you name the colour? What do you reckon?